In this episode, we talk Von Miller and whether or not we believe it'll be his best year yet.
Hey everybody, I'm Jesse,
This is Justin.
and this is the Brothers Sports Show, and today we're going to be talking about Von Miller. Earlier this week, he talked about how the 2017 season is going to be his best. I don't think so, but we'll get into that. What do you think, Justin? Do you think it's going to be his best season so far?
Oh, of course. I think with DeMarcus Ware retiring, it puts a lot of pressure on Shane Ray on the other outside linebacker position. So I think it's going to cause Von Miller to have to pick up the slack, even though he got a lot more sacks than DeMarcus did last year. DeMarcus, I think, only got 4 or so, and he ended up around 11 and a half or 13. I think there's even more pressure on him because now that the senior in DeMarcus Ware is gone, it puts Von Miller at the top since he's going into, his 7th season or so, 6th season. So I think it adds pressure to him to have to go out and dominate even more than he already has.
And see, I'm at the complete other end of that. With DeMarcus Ware gone, even though he wasn't as productive as his earlier times in his career, even though he wasn't getting the sacks, he was still the disruptor on that defensive line, and that allows more time and more people to, on the offensive side, against the Broncos D line to cover like DeMarcus Ware. Then have to worry about Von Miller. Now without anybody else really scaring the offensive lines that they're going to be going up against in 2017, they're going to know Von Miller is the key to their defense at this point.
That's why I think Shane Ray is going to be an offset and help with that. Because, I mean, if you look at DeMarcus Ware's stats over just the last 2 seasons, so the 2016 and the 2015 season, he only has 15 combined tackles in 2016. 2015, he had 25 combined tackles with only 7.5 sacks in 2015 and 4 sacks in 2016. And you look at Von Miller, 2015, he had 11 sacks with 35 tackles combined, and in 2016, 13.5 tackles with 78. So even with DeMarcus there, the last 2 years, he still dominated over DeMarcus.
Yeah, but how many quarterback pressures did DeMarcus Ware have? Do you know that?
Doesn't give that stat.
I know, and that's one of my main points is that even though he doesn't have the sacks or the tackles or any of that stuff, DeMarcus Ware was probably a disruptor for the offensive lines. He could have gotten in there and made the quarterback think a little quicker or make some mistakes or have to worry about both of them coming on each side. He didn't have to have those stats in order to disrupt the offensive line. And with Von Miller over there too, he was probably one-manned at some times. Probably not. Probably had 2 offensive linemen on him, but still.
You always have to have 2 people on Von.
Yeah,
He'll still get past
exactly.
you.
I'm not saying he's going to have a terrible season. I'm not saying he's going to have an average season. I just see, what was it? I lost it. It was like 2013 or 2014. He had 18 and a half sacks. I don't see him beating that this year.
Oh, I totally do. And that was before it was even split, before DeMarcus Ware even got there. So he was doing better when DeMarcus wasn't there. When DeMarcus there, he kind of slowed down a little bit because he had, in 2014, I believe he was injured, so he didn't play a lot of the year. But in 2012, he had 18 and a half sacks, and then in 2014, he had 14 sacks. And that's when DeMarcus joined, was in 14. And then you can see he went 14 sacks, 11 sacks, 13 and a half. So he did better prior to DeMarcus coming. So I don't think DeMarcus leaving is going to have anything but a positive effect because it puts more on him, so it's less split. It's more of like go, Von, go. And Shane Ray is going to be the disruptor, as in if Von can't get in there because everyone's going to be focused on him, that's when Shane Ray is going to shine this year and come back from not a nobody, but not a high performance guy down to, hey, this is a guy we got to worry about. And I think it's going to be more challenging because DeMarcus Ware was getting old and his stats were dropping. You can pull the whole disruptor thing, but there's nothing to show it.
I know because there aren't any stats for disrupting the offensive line. There is no stats for that.
So it's an irrelevant stat then.
It's not irrelevant in the game.
Yeah, it is if you can't prove it. It's if you have a guy rushing on the
That's
left
why there's
side.
game film. You go and watch what these players do, how they do it.
Yeah, they double teamed Vaughn. They didn't double team DeMarcus. They knew if one guy could stop DeMarcus because how old he was. You need 2-3 people to slow down Vaughn. You got to have the O line, the outside lineman block him, and then you have to also have a running back available or a fullback ready for when he gets past that guy because he has that sweet little spin move to get in and beat the shit out of a quarterback.
All right, well, let's take a look at the offensive lines that you guys are going to be facing, or Von Miller's going to be facing in 2017. You guys have Dallas, Dallas Cowboys. Everyone knows they have the best offensive line in the league. And it's going to be Dak's second year, so he maybe might get the ball out a little bit quicker, too. I mean, anyways, just focus on the offensive line.
We'll get 2 sacks.
I don't see Von Miller getting through that offensive line, especially with Ezekiel Elliott running the ball. He might have some tackles and stuff, yeah, but I don't see any sacks coming in that game versus Dallas.
I'm calling 2 sacks right now.
All right, well,
Everyone's
we can
gonna
come back to
remember
this
day.
video
Oh,
and
fuck.
you can see how wrong you are.
Me and Vaughn, man, we don't go wrong.
And then you
Who
have
else we play?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Rubbish.
They have a pretty good offensive line too. I think they're top 10 or no, I think they're number 11 last year. I don't know. I think that's what they are. Yeah, I changed.
Okay, so you can't be. So that's not a very good offensive
Mitch
line to
Morris
go
only
against.
allowed 13 pressures overall and 0 sacks last season. That's pretty damn good. That was like, and then Alex Smith, he also gets the ball out really quick. So I mean, getting the ball out quick, and they have a good offensive line, I don't see him doing much there either, unless he just balls out. There's plenty of other teams that have awful offensive lines that they're going up against, but these are some of the teams that have really good ones, and he's not getting through to them. The Redskins, they averaged 403 yards per game last season, mainly because of their offensive line. And they rushed 4.5 yards per rush, also helped to the offensive line, and only allowed 23 sacks. 23 sacks, that's not bad. And you guys are going up against that offensive line as well. The Bills, they were the ones 11th overall. They've got some. They have a good offensive line as well as developing, and Richie Incognito was the best left guard of 2016. Guys are going up against them. Patriots. They're
We
number
sacked
10.
them so much, dude. They're trash.
Okay.
Their offensive line.
Yeah, the
sucks.
last time you played us.
Fuck. If you look over his
Actually,
stats,
in
I
20.
think most of Von Miller's stats are against Brady.
Yeah, that was a couple years when we had a really bad offensive line. We brought back our offensive line coach, and he helped out a lot. That's why we had number 10 last year. And plus, I mean, Brady gets the ball a lot quicker, and he's developing some experience with the Broncos. And plus, I'm pretty sure he's going to be trying a lot harder against him to get the ball out because he doesn't want to get hit by Von Miller. Nobody does.
When was the last time you guys beat us?
Last year.
Oh. So then a few years before that, well, I think we have a better winning record against you guys than you have against
We
us.
win in the regular season since Von Miller's been there. You guys pretty much win in the postseason, which that's when it matters, obviously. But we're talking about the regular season right now.
Yeah. We usually
And
beat
then
you guys.
the last one, Raiders. They were ranked 7th last season. I mean, I really don't see this being his best season coming up.
Oh, I totally do.
I mean, I guess the only way is maybe
I think he's going to end the year at 20 sacks.
20.
20 sacks. I want him to go 20.
What's the record, like 23.5 or 24?
I don't know.
I think that's it. That's pretty hard to do. That's like J.J. Watt's. Well, like they are in the same status as.
Yeah, Von Miller is much more of a threat than him.
Than J.J. Watt? I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty much the same threat. Like, they're both pretty damn good.
Most sacks in an NFL season.
Yeah, 22.5.
22.5 on Michael Strahan, that little bitch.
And you think Von Miller's going to get...
I think Von
Not
Miller,
against those offensive linesmen.
Yeah.
Maybe a different year. I don't know.
No.
Maybe if injuries come or whatever to the other teams, I don't know. But I don't see him getting past that 18.5 sack season.
I do. The thing with Vaughn is he's
Not this
very,
year.
very, very good. He's also very disciplined. I think he could have had a better 2016 season. I don't think he was prepped enough going into it.
How does that make him disciplined then if he wasn't prepped?
Well, I think that was the 1 year. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think last year he knew, okay, I didn't do enough in the off season to prep for the 2016 season. So this year, I think that's why he's going to step it up. He's like, okay, I messed up last year. I think if I messed up prepping and all that last year and I still got 13.5 sacks, if I really buckled down and tried hard, then it could be my best year yet. And that's why, I believe in him just because I think he's the hardest working outside linebacker that's there, and he's determined. Some people, like, they're good outside linebackers, but they don't have determination. He's, I think, one of the best and very humble about it, to where other ones aren't that humble. And they're
Well,
like,
last year he was probably pretty gassed too. I mean, your offense didn't stay on the field that long
no.
after the first
and he was
couple
still
games of the
ranked
season.
the number 2 linebacker.
He's probably exhausted. Like, God,
Yeah.
offense, take your time, please.
Yeah, he was the number 2 linebacker rated last year, and the number 1 rated linebacker since the year 2000, or the number 1 rated second round pick, first round pick linebacker, whatever the stat said. But essentially, he's the number 1 linebacker since 2000,
I mean, how?
and that's just in the few years that he's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to go to the Hall of Fame by the time he's done. Even though he's only been in
Let's see,
6
11,
years.
12, so 7 years, 7.
This would be his 7th, I think.
Yeah, so that's what I thought earlier. This would be his 7th year playing, and he's coming off a bad year. His version, even though this is the most tackles that he's ever got, 78 with 16 assists. I mean, hey, it says he has no interception. I thought he had one last year. Maybe it was a penalty and got taken back. But still.
Now, that was in the postseason, I think. Are these... It's not regular.
These are just career stats. It doesn't say postseason.
I know he picked off Brady in the AFC Championship game.
Because Brady's a rookie. Brady's shit.
Fuck you. I don't know. I like Von Miller. I'm not, like, hoping he does bad or anything. I'm just saying I just don't see it being better than 2012. I don't see it being better than that.
What?
I mean,
2012 is only 18.
Actually, no. That interception was in 2012. So this is, I guess, regular season stats.
Yeah. Yeah, in 2012, with, what is it, 18.5 sacks, I totally think he'll go over 20 this year.
Jeez, he's 6'3". He does not look 6'3". He looks like he's freaking, like, barely 6 feet.
See? It's tricky. That's how he gets everyone.
He seems like short and stumpy, or
Yeah, right.
not like that.
Tall guy.
He doesn't look like it to me though. Like, I always
Fallon's-
thought of him as like one of these like shorter like linebackers. I'm like,
No. 6'3"
I
and
never
250.
even
The
noticed
guy's
that.
a freaking animal.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion, and I'll be right. You're wrong a lot in football.
No,
Yeah.
I'm right like all the time in football.
No.
Says the person that thought the Panthers won in 2003.
Well, that's what it said on an article. Maybe it was Wikipedia. Can't trust them.
Yeah, you can't trust it.
I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I think Vaughn's going to be the best this year, by far.
All right, we'll see.
Remember, 2
I don't
sacks
think
in the
J.J.
Cowboys
Watt's going to
game.
be the best because he's coming off of a back injury.
J.J.
So
Watt
it's
hasn't
either
been
Von
anything
Miller
for a
or
couple
somebody
years.
else.
J.J. Watt has been crap.
I'm picking somebody else to be better.
Who?
Who?
Yeah.
Depending on how Luke Kuechly comes back from his injury, him.
Why?
Because he's been one of the best in the league since he's been in. I don't know when he was drafted. I think maybe 2011, 2012.
Luke Kuechly?
I think Von Miller has better stats, but, I mean, he's also a different linebacker. He has like 12 interceptions. He's more of a coverage linebacker. He can cover. He could rush the quarterback.
What's his name?
Luke Kuechly. Just type in Luke K and then he should show up. No, Kuechly, like K-E-U or something like that.
Kuechly.
There you go.
So the guy that got 2 sacks last year, one sack the year before.
What I tell you just now, he's more of a coverage linebacker.
Oh, fuck. Yeah,
and he stuffs the run.
You can't. Those are
He's
two
not
diff-
always rushing to.
Yeah, but you're comparing two different positions. It's like me saying.
That's what I was just saying.
So I said, who's going to be the best? If Von Miller's not going to be the best outside linebacker,
That's
who
why I was
will
saying
be?
you can't compare
Yes.
linebackers like that.
No, that's why I'm asking you. Who do you think's going to be the number one outside linebacker? Don't start naming off like.
Oh,
Well, I think the
I didn't hear you
safety's
say
gonna be-
outside linebacker.
Oh shit, Jesse, you can't. He's going to be the number one outside linebacker. That's what I'm comparing it to, not inside. I'm not going to say a cornerback's going to be better than a safety because they're two different positions. Who do you think's going to be the best outside linebacker next year?
All right, well, that's your pick.
I asked who you think.
Oh, I don't know.
So you don't think he's going to be the best, but yet you have no one to say who will be the best.
Not better than his last seasons.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke Strahan's record. He's going to be an animal because our offense is going to suck again this year.
If he doesn't, kudos to him because he's going up against some pretty nasty
and fuck. I
offensive
think
lines.
one of those offensive lines in the top 10, I'm not worried about it.
No, like 3 of them. 3 or 4.
So three. How many games do we have this year? 16?
Yeah.
So 3 of them are in the top 10?
Yeah, but you also
we're
have
gonna
to
have a
think about
rough
the
season?
offensive lines or the offense, your offense. You guys might not be on the field forever,
That
just
help-
like last season.
Hey, that gives him a chance to make more defensive plays.
or
because
gives him more time to get gassed out to where he's exhausted.
I don't think Von Miller gets exhausted.
Everyone does,
Not
unless
him.
they're really conditioned.
That guy is conditioned like a beast. He just runs up hills with weights behind him all the time. That guy does not get tired. I think that's why, I mean, if you look at the Panthers game, he was most of the sacks and the big plays came towards the end of the game. He was just beating the crap out of Cam Newton and just strip sacking him and everything.
Cincinnati offensive line was number 2 last season. You guys are hitting them.
Okay, again, those are 3 games out of 16. If there
Or
was
like 4 or
if
5
there was
now.
13 teams that had top 10, which is impossible, but if we went against all the top 10 defensive or offensive lines this year, maybe you can have an argument there. But when we have 2 or 3 in the top 10 out of 16 games, like
I just told you have like 4 or 5.
even 4 to 5 out of 16. It's not It's not even the same.
Yeah, no, but Oakland you play twice. Chiefs you play twice.
Yeah, I don't think Oakland's going to be good, but I think last year was their year. I don't know if they'll come back to the status they were last year.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
Because they were pretty good the year before that too. They were like just starting to become really good, like in 2014 or 2015. Yeah, 2014.
Wait, don't you mean
No,
2015?
2015. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I always get confused when it's during the off season. I'm like, oh, last year, I say some stupid stats that were like 2 years ago. I'm like, shit.
again, I think this will be his best year. I think he'll break 20 sacks
I don't think he'll.
and be the top outside linebacker.
I say he'll hit 16 or 17 sacks.
Still a lot. He'll
It's
beat.
still not better.
He'll beat it. Watch. He'll get like 18 and a half.
My case is that it'll be better or worse. I don't think it'll be better than what he's done.
I do. But like I said, we'll know in a year. Well, less than a year. In about 8 months, we'll have this conversation again.
All right.
And I'm showing you as by week 12, when he has 16 sacks under his belt, then he can start forking over the cheddar.
Watch he get suspended.
Told you.
I told you.
So pissed off. For like week 13, he gets injured and tears like an ACL. He's at freaking like 17 and a half.
I wasn't
sacks.
gonna say that because I didn't want to jinx it.
There's no such thing as jinxing. Either it happens or it doesn't. But
All right, so if he tears his ACL, like you just said, it's your fault.
Bronco Nation.
I'm gonna call Von Miller and be like, my brother's a dick. He's a Bronco fan. And he said you're gonna tear your ACL.
Week 13. I got to be right on one of these stats. I'll try to throw them all out there and then just see what sticks.
All right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Close it out.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you like what we had to say about Von Miller. Some not probably, But see you next time.
So, hey guys, thanks again for listening. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch TV, all at Bro Sports Media, as well as our website, brosportsmedia.com.